within SDMX, what are the main IT tools that have been developed in order to enable the transmission of data and metadata. And of course, within those tools, we will be paying now attention to the SDMX converter. Within the tools, of course, I have mentioned or I have highlighted 5 tools that have been developed by Eurostat. However, at the end of the presentation, I will show you the website where you can find all the information that is relevant to the global community, so the SDMX.org. We have, of course, a specific, in case you don't know, the specific page in Eurostat website that tries to cater for the SDMX, the Eurostat SDMX community. So again, the same as we have two different, or I have mentioned 2 different registries, the EuroSDMX registry, which is developed and maintained by Eurostat, and the global registry, which it is developed and maintained by the global, so by all the SDMX sponsors. We have 2 sites, one that caters the needs of a specific partner, in this case Eurostat, and that is the InfoSpace, the SDMX InfoSpace that is available on the Eurostat website. And then you have one that caters for the needs, or tries to serve the needs or respond to the needs of the SDMX global community. And for that, we have the SDMX.org. Of course, on the SDMX.org, and I will show you both of them, you will have, or you have access to all the SDMX tools that are available on the market that have been developed by our partners, including, of course, and also you will find the Eurostat ones, of course. So without further ado, the installation. How do we install the SDMX converter? So in order to, the first thing we need to know is that this can be, when I show you, actually it might be best if I show you now. So this is, this is the Eurostat website. Okay, can do it now. So within the Eurostat website, we have, if we click on the data tab, we have the InfoSpace. So it's data, InfoSpace, and here you have SDMX IT tools. You have the converter. So if we click on the converter, it gives me an overview and then the address to access the converter. Let me do it again. Sometimes that is happening. Otherwise, I have it here. And we have the one that we are using today, the 5.4.4, which is the one that is in production. The new one, so this is in test, and the new one, the 7.3.2, will be, well, hopefully it will be soon also in production. It will be, and it will put this one offline. Okay. So that is for, so if we click here, we have the documentation, which is very important. In the documentation, which I have downloaded as well, where is the you have important information such as how to install it, which is briefly what we are going to describe here. Test documentation, you have many different, so here we will be in the live exercise, in the live demonstration I will do at the end of the presentation, we will use 4 cases, but here you have many more. So you can come and select one of the many, okay, we have to compress it, but you have more than 20 different cases that you can use. You have the user manual, and well, you have the how the bugs were fixing throughout the life of this version. So the documentation is very important. Then you have, well, starting from the bottom is the one that we are going to use. It's locally install. So you can locally install the software, the SDMX converter, if you have Windows operating system. If you want to open it up, so if you want to use the web service, you need to click on here. You have all the files that are needed in order to use the SDMX converter as a web service. The source code is actually for those that are developers and they just need access to the functionalities because they want to include those functionalities that are available on the software or in the software to put it in their own system. So they have the libraries that enable them to apply or to have the functionalities that are available on the graphical user interface that we are going to use today and put them or have them in their own systems. Then the platform independent, if you do not have administrator rights, like it is the case for some of you, you can access this, and we will use it for a specific example where we use the command line and the documentation as we mentioned. So that is the first thing you need to know. So you go to the, briefly, we go to Eurostat website, we click on data, SDMX info space, IT tools, converter, and then we click on this link. Okay, so that's what we do. Now, since it's this tool uses Java, we need to make sure that Java Home is inserted or we have it. So in my system, the way it does, I can quickly show it to you. We have to click here. So I go to Control, Panel. I go to System. I go to Advanced Systems, Environment Variables, and Java Home, and this path to Java Home. So this should be link, or it should take me to where Java Home is available on my PC, which is, by the way, it is the case. Because if I click, you see that Java, it is indeed available on that path. Okay. So that is a very common issue when people download the software and it doesn't work. Well, you need to make sure that Java Home is you have downloaded and is properly the link to where it's being downloaded on your PC is properly inserted here on this value. If you have downloaded the software and you're sure that you have Java and the path to access Java is correctly described as I have shown to you, then of course you're more than welcome, or for any other matter for that, you're very welcome to use the functional email address, which is esta-support-sdmx@ec.europa.eu. And in principle, well, this is usually what we require: input file. But of course, if we are trying to already convert a file, an input file, and it doesn't work. But of course, if the problem is before we can make the converter run, of course, the input file is not needed. It's just that you write a small, or you describe what you've done, what the issue is, and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. More information, as I have just shown to you, for Eurostat stakeholders, so is inserted or is available on the Eurostat SDMX info space. You have seen that the tool section, but you have the why, how, and where next, and then, in this case, information about the upcoming training courses. So the converter, ESSMH registry, EDAM is full. You have access to the material from previous sessions here. And the same goes for the SDMX basic and the SDMX IT tools, you have access and you have access to all the training materials for the basics and the IT tools, which are 2 training courses that are done here in-house under the ESTP program. Then you have tutorials, and the email address I just mentioned to you is available here, so you don't need to take notes. You just come here if you need to use it. Data, SDMX InfoSpace, SDMX user support, and you come and use the functional email address if you have any questions. Okay. So now, the